Folks, remember you can find us at dramaticcinematic.com, and of course you can also listen to the show on Stitcher, look us up on iTunes, or you can also find us on Facebook, Dramatic Cinematic. Don't forget to look us up on Twitter at TC Podcast Crew. Now on to the show. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. You are currently listening to the Traumatic Cinematic Show. I am Mugumbo, and welcome to the internet. Yes. In case this is your first go around, this is the internet, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty big. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Really, shirts and shoes, optional. Nobody really fucking cares. So, have at it.
You'll still get serviced.
Yeah, you will still get serviced because it's all digital.
I'm not wearing pants now.
I'm not wearing pants either. Folks, with me tonight on this wonderful occasion, this wonderful spring afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it might be. With me from the Midwest, Mr. Hero Extraordinaire, the man that will tell you you will not date my sister unless I get to taste that chicken first. Mr. Mike Wycliffe.
I'm not even sure what you just said, but I'm pretty sure I don't like it.
No, it was awesome.
I was going to make a joke about Quaker Oats and diabetes, but never mind. I'm just...
That was the most confusing, offensive thing I've ever said, and from the West Coast. The man that once took a dolphin, made it inside of a elephant with an aborigine. It hatched an egg, and here we have Mr. DeMoss. What is going on, Mr. West Coast Style?
I just cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit. Mike, can you believe this voodoo bullshit?
I can't either. I feel like a spell has come over me.
I can't believe you always go with the quote anyway, even after I've completely derailed it.
I know what I'm doing. I have it written down.
We never really talk about this, but that's what we always do at the very beginning is Dave and I do a quote from the movie. Except sometimes I'll decide to trash the quote from the movie at the last moment and just say something, stupid. But Dave always goes with a quote anyway, and it always makes me feel dumb afterwards.
And I, to be honest with you,
I'm sorry, Mike.
Until just now, you guys mentioned it the other episode, like, we do a quote from every movie. I'm like, really? Well, when do you guys do it? And then I just pass it off. And then you're right, you guys do kind of try to do a quote, but you guys aren't very good at it.
And it's something we never actually talked about. We just both started doing it.
Well, what else can I say? When you have such a fabulous, wonderful, beautiful introduction like I am able to give, it is like audio gold coming right at you.
It can be distracting.
But folks, we have shot this shit long enough. You know what we came here to talk about? We came here to talk about a little something that came long ago. This is a classic. If it was a car, it would practically be an antique. This is something from John Carpenter that, I don't know, it had to have inspired so many other movies, as far as this, that, or another, blah, blah, blah.
Lots and lots of nightmares.
Lots of nightmares.
2 generations worth in some cases. But yes, we're talking about The Thing. Yeah.
Mayday. Anyone hear me? Over. This is U.S. Station 31.
What's that?
You read me?
Guys, somebody needs help. What are we going to do?
Down here.
He needs help.
Anybody hear me?
Fuck him.
We found something.
I bet he tastes wonderful.
Something.
You know they're not going to spoil because it's cold there.
Soylent people is people.
That's what I was hoping all along.
"12 men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice.
Holy shit.
Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation.
Is that Snake
It'll fight if it
Plissken?
has to, but it's vulnerable
Yes.
out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more
Like
enemies.
a year after.
Nobody left to kill it.
too.
And then it's one.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can beat one of those things!
Things, yes.
Holy shnikes.
Every time I hear that trailer and it starts off with 12 men have just found something, my brain goes, they found that Henry Fonda can't listen to instructions and now they have to declare a mistrial. Because he wasn't allowed to be walking around buying knives that are illegal.
Oh, God. Now, see,
Sorry.
now I feel dumb because you just reached all the way back to 12 Angry Men, and that's just awesome. Yeah.
I mean, the audio in that, it gave you that suspense, that feeling, that like, holy shit, like, what is that? That, you know, folks, you can show as much blood, brains, anguish and anger. You can show rotting flesh and decapitated or severed
And
arms and
people do.
limbs, crawling corpses and this, that, or
Ass to
another,
mouth.
but
Aw,
there's something
you
about
never go ass
suspense.
to mouth.
There is something about suspense, that unknown, to let your own imagination wonder what might be out there, that helplessness, that cry for help, you know, SOS, SOS, you know, that there's something deep and menacing about that. Is there not, guys?
Oh,
It's the basis of like every campfire story we have. Yes, it's one of the oldest horror stories. And you mention, from outside. Well, what about the horrors that lurk within? That's the whole basis of this, right?
Well, but if you speak it's Swedish, right? If you speak Swedish at all,
They're not Swedish, Mac. They're Norwegian.
Norwegian. Oh,
The
you
movie
mean
is
like
ruined for you in the first 5
Rare
minutes.
Exports? No, that was Norwegian.
Well, it's a Germanic language, so some of their cognates are pretty easy to.
I
figure out
saw an
anyway.
English version of this. Isn't that how all of it is? It isn't, is it? Their lips did not. But Kurt Russell doesn't speak Norwegian.
no, but the guy in the helicopter at the beginning of the movie is speaking Norwegian, and apparently what he's telling them actually translates to, get the hell out of there, that's not a dog, it's some sort of thing, it's imitating a dog, it isn't real, get away, you idiots.
Oh, you know, I actually, honestly, I think that about every fucking dog I see. The smaller it is, the more evil I believe it is. And the
Well,
more I want to kill
Chihuahuas are
it.
just rats, so.
They are, and they're all horrible. Corgis, horrible. All of them.
Oh,
all
now,
of them.
come
No, the
on.
bigger they get, the better they are. The more ape-like they are. But, yeah.
And so you get up to whatever the hell this thing is. But I gotta say, that dog is the second best actor in this movie. They tell you, never work with animals, but whoever...
And the best actor is Adrienne Barbeau as the voice of the chess computer, right?
Oh,
I was gonna go with
really?
you, David, but
you know what?
now that you tell me she's here.
It's funny you said that, because I actually, I heard that voice, I actually saw the most perfectly round, firm, perky breasts. Adrienne Barbeau, all I can think of is, what was it, the Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
Her amazing,
Yes. I always go for
amazing
Cannibal
rack.
Women in the
Amazing,
Avocado Jungle of Death myself.
natural, 80s, 70s, whatever boobs.
Well, she was married to John Carpenter when this movie was made.
That's just one of those jobs you cast at the last minute. You're like, hey, honey, you want to do me a favor? Read into this microphone 20
I
times.
still contend that the chess computer was a call out to the fact that it wasn't that long ago that Kurt Russell had been making things like the computer wore tennis shoes.
Who was she married to?
John Carpenter.
She was married to John Carter.
Who? John
Or
Carter?
John Carpenter. I just said John Carter, didn't I? I'm up John Carpenter.
He plays music too, doesn't he?
Usually.
Yeah, he does, but he's better at writing and directing movies.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure he rubs his musical talent all over everything he does.
Except this movie, which was scored by a very nice Italian man.
Yes, and it was very obvious. Very obvious. That's why I am playing at the moment. Some Carpenter music. Obviously not from this music.
I recognize it, but I can't come up with it off the top of my head.
Oh, really? Escape from New York?
Oh, duh. I just watched that last week because I finally got the Blu-ray.
One of the finest. I mean, honestly, guys, that is one of the questions I have written down here. What is this movie is awesome in all rights. It has the best special effects, practical special effects that I've ever seen in a movie, in a film. I mean, they're just
It's up there.
spectacular.
Courtesy of, and they
what is
better
your
be-
favorite
they better be the
Carpenter
best.
movie?
They drove their original puppeteer to nervous exhaustion to the point where he was hospitalized while making this movie.
Well, good. Well,
Robert
that is an awesome story, and that puppeteer. How many puppeteers worked themselves into the hospital? That means
Rob
means he did the
Bottin,
best
Oscar
puppeteering
winners. That's
that
how
can be
many.
done. Like he's like, I pushed it, I gave it 110%. I couldn't give no more. Right?
You're not going to ask us what our favorite John Carpenter movie is, are you?
I think I just did. What is your favorite John Carpenter movie?
That's really a no-brainer.
What's that?
It's got to be Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh.
Now see, I was gonna say They Live.
They
Also
Live.
good.
Oh, yeah. Which
But it's not Big Trouble in Little China.
No, very few things are except for Mortal Kombat. But no, They Live. But see, it would be. I'm interested in that you would choose the Escape from New York soundtrack, Louis, because
it was the one I found.
Well, that's fine, and that's good because it lets me, let you all in on my secret
And
shame
I think
that I'm not the biggest Escape from New York fan in the world.
Really?
It's kinda
really?
cheesy.
Wow, Dave. There's a movie out there in the world that you don't like? You got to be
I
kidding
know,
me.
and it's one that a lot of people do like for reasons that I can't really fathom.
I enjoy it quite a bit, but I take it for what it is. And I remember that they weren't intending to be as cheesy as they are, and that makes it tolerable to me. It's just funny.
See, I don't get the cheese. I just get pacing issues and some real trouble, like connecting to Snake himself, to our hero, because he's kind of a dick, but he's not kind. But he's not the kind of personable.
Well, but you have to
courageous
remember that
dick.
that was when Kurt Russell was kind of at. He was the guy that everybody liked. Kurt Russell, you just like him, and so it was one of those that he was kind of. He was one of those actors that was everywhere.
And I
He was
tell you what,
playing
guys,
against type,
he
is
pulls
what you're
off
saying.
the beard and feathered the mid-length, long feathered hair. He pulls that shit off.
It's
I've
basically
got the
Emerald.
beard, and I can be scruffy, but he pulls that shit off. There's something about Kurt Russell. I tell you what, folks, he is just. You know what? I am there, and this might be sacrilegious to say. I could have seen him replacing Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse instantly. You could go back and digitally put him into Roadhouse and take Patrick Swayze out of it. I might not even fucking notice. I said it. I mean it.
Improve Roadhouse for me, actually. Yeah.
Say
Yeah,
what?
I was never a huge Roadhouse fan. which
Well,
know
what I
is
was
sacrilegious.
getting to was that what I'm impressed with as
Really?
far as the Kurt Russell goes
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
yeah,
he could
sure.
turn around
Shit.
from Snake and be so likable here as R.J. McCready, who is potentially even we don't really know if he's more or less of a jackass than Snake Plissken, but we do
Something
know he likes chess, and that becomes very crucial.
Something I never figured out about McCready in this movie. he's not actually in charge, right?
No, he's just a helicopter pilot.
He's just the guy that everybody goes, okay, we need somebody to be in charge. We all know it's you.
Because you have the beard, right? And
he's the guy everybody trusts, but in any other situation where there's a hierarchy, he wouldn't be the one everyone's going to, yeah?
No, he's just the helicopter pilot, and he's got, for some reason, he gets his own funky little shack.
Because he's a badass? Yeah, I don't get it. There was more than one pilot there. But
True.
He's got his own shack.
Well,
he seems to be the guy in charge. It's just one of those things that I never quite got about this movie.
Well, okay, like the one pilot is... The other pilot would be Palmer, who is the token stoner of the group.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, of the two, you know, you gotta see what kind of
I think
they're
everyone
grading
was
on
famous
here.
in this movie, right? I mean, just about everyone. Speaking of which, speaking about everyone being famous in this movie being John Carpenter's The Thing, guys, Days of the Dead. Indianapolis is coming up here very soon, July 5th, 6th, and 7th. And speaking of The Thing, guess who's going to be there that's related to this? Thomas Waits.
Know. Who's going to be there?
Thomas Waits, Richard Masur, Keith David, and Joel Polis will be there from Days of the Dead. And they are pretty much all the dudes that got all fucked up in this movie.
4 out of 12 ain't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Masser is Clark, and Keith
shot through
David
the
is Childs. And Keith David,
He's been also in They Live, Roddy Piper's awesome alien movie. I'm going to chew bubblegum and kick some ass.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
he's also
John Carpenter.
Goliath from Gargoyles,
Yeah.
among other lots of things.
I imagine he's a cool dude.
He's the guy responsible for Jennifer Connelly's situation in Requiem for a Dream.
Yes.
And folks, you can check out everyone that's going to be at Days of the Dead in Indianapolis, which all three of us, believe it or not, Mike and I here are from the Midwest. Dave here, being from Portland, Oregon, right? Did I get that right, Dave?
You did. I'll be flying in to join you all for
Dave
show.
is coming into town. We are actually going to all meet each other. It's going to be quite a triumphant, amazing thing. So we will actually get to meet all these people and possibly get a snippet from them. Maybe we
cool.
whatever we can get, right? We'll be
We'll
relentless.
get them reading out. We'll get them plugging our show.
But check that out. daysofthedead.net. Indianapolis is coming up. So check it out, folks.
July 5th through the 7th.
And I can't wait. And that, what's cooler than to sit here and talk about it every week, get excited about it, hate it, love it, discuss it, right, guys? And to actually get out there and actually meet some people and meet some new people. And I mean, you know what's going to happen? We're going to hear about some new movies coming out, and we're going to be able to follow them, and we're going to be able to give our fans at home that little bit of extra that they expect from their traumatic cinematic brand, right?
Yes, and we'll be able to tell them if any of the new movies suck or not. Yeah.
Hopefully, there's also going to be a film festival. We might have a friend that is hosting it. We will see. This film, there is something about this. What was it? 1982 that this was created? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yep. I was 4 years old.
Folks at home, if you might have gone out there and seen, and apparently I forgot about it. And this is one of those things in a Generation X's nerds, in our age group, we have to worry about this. Those of us in our mid-30s. Oh, well, I'm talking about I'm making a post on Twitter about, we're going to watch The Thing tonight, and that's what we're going to discuss, and what is your opinions on it? And I get all these responses back, which one are you talking about? I was like, well, John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. Well, which one are you talking about? And it's like, really? Why do they have to remake everything that's special, guys?
It's called the blurring effect.
Like, we made money with this the first time around, and the DVD sales have
now
been
let's not
wonderful.
forget that John Carpenter's was a remake to begin with.
Yes.
Of what? Really? Really? I did not know this. Educate me, guys. Educate me.
It is a remake of the 1951 film The Thing from Another World, starring a bunch of people no one knows anymore, like Margaret Sheridan and Kenneth Tobey and Robert Corthwaite, who are all like big character actors in the 50s. Directed by someone named Christian Nyby, though it may have been directed by its slightly more famous producer Howard Hawks in some scenes.
Actually, the very opening scene of this movie is like a direct remake of the opening shot of the original of The Thing.
Yes.
Or From Another World.
Yes, almost shot for shot, and even there are little callbacks throughout. Like when they're exploring the Norwegian camp, it looks very much like a apocalyptic version of the camp from The Thing from Another World.
Plus, the whole thing was originally a story that was in Astounding Science Fiction magazine, which is now Analog magazine. If you've ever read that,
yes,
Analog magazine. You mean what would make it Oh, you mean like they use ink to write words?
Yes, and these words sometimes form sci-fi stories. It's actually pretty awesome.
Wow,
this particular one was written by one of the magazine's editors and founders, John W. Campbell, a very famous sci-fi writer from the 30s and 40s who became an editor in the 40s and 50s and 60s.
I'll say.
So he helped a lot of people come up through the ranks. And it was this story about a bunch of guys trapped in an Arctic base with a shape-shifting monster. And it was a bit too high concept. It would have been too expensive to film in 1951. So they pretty much dressed up a James Arness in some, freaky makeup and, did the best they could. But part of that was they hid him for as long as possible in a lot of shadows and a lot of really very tightly composed shots. And so the thing, I remember my father telling me about being 7 years old and being scared out of his mind by The Thing from Another World, because there's a shot where it's coming through a door and you just see it in silhouette. But that's enough because your brain can fill in all kinds of horrible
things. Which is almost worse.
Because that's back in 1951 when people still had imaginations.
Or people still had the foresight to make you use your imagination to fill in the blanks, which was way scarier than actually showing it to you.
But even if you do, right, even if you do want to show something, if you're working with the practical effects like you are in 1982, you've still got to take a hell of a lot of time to set up the lighting, set up the camera, block everything out so that nothing
But it
ruins
is so pretty.
But I have a thought to go, but Dave, Mike, I have a thought to go along with that. Just like Psycho, just like Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, once you show that blood, is that black color on your film, on your black and white film, right? Yes. Once you show that is blood and that blood goes everywhere and you see that darkness is blood throughout the rest of the movie, whenever you see that darkness, regardless if it is a shade of a shadow of a person that is good or bad, it doesn't matter. That color always has that feeling that comes off of it, and that is the power of black and white and colors like that.
I would not put that past Howard Hawks. He was exactly the kind of guy who would think up something like that.
In this movie, guys, I will say it was shot. I'm guessing it was 16 millimeter, the standard or the highest quality of film of this time period. Yes, no.
Yes.
Can anybody answer that? It was beautiful. I could tell the grain of this film, the shot, like that consideration was taken into this as it was being filmed. There's no question. I
think they just used what was best and available.
No, I do not believe that at all, Mike. I do not believe that at all. They took the time. They shot this in a white area to be in a snow area, right? to
Canada,
shoot this in
yes.
Hoth. Like, you just don't, if you're going to make a movie and you don't make movies very much, or you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to go make, a movie at Hoth, right?
No, you're going to use like Idaho or something.
Whatever the season is outside your door at the moment. But no,
exactly.
they there was a story to this, and to do this in snow and ice or the effect of snow and ice is not easy. To give that idea or that feeling, and I will say, did anybody notice anybody's breath in this movie?
I did, especially when they're exploring the Norwegian camp.
Me
I'll
too.
tell you,
there was
movies that
moments
can
where it
physically
was
affect
intentional, and there was others where it was forgotten about. But that's okay. That's a weird thing that I do.
Well, there is
No.
a thing at the very end about seeing somebody's breath, but
but no, what gets me is they're supposed to be in Antarctica, but their days and nights are so damn regular because this was all filmed in Canada.
Yeah, yes. It should have been all night, like the whole time. It'd be like they were up it was like 198 hours, and it was all light, or there was like 1 hour darkness, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's supposed to be winter in Antarctica.
No different than Alaska. Alaska is just that way because it's up there. It's the same way, but opposite on the southern tip.
But for obvious reasons, you can't strand a film crew in the actual Arctic Circle or
Well,
something.
no, you know how much that would cost? They're in the Union, dude.
Yeah, so we give them a pass on.
They're in the
that
fucking
stuff.
Union. Fucking Union ruined Hollywood. I mean, thank goodness, because those people need to be taken care of, but it ruined Hollywood.
They do. Yeah. But there are a few movies that can physically affect me, and this movie makes me cold every time I watch it.
Me too. And you know what, folks? Speaking of cold, makes me want to go out there and look. What else has John Carpenter done music-wise in his other films? And why we do that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to continue to talk about John Carpenter's The Thing. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. That's right, Steven Seagal. And for the past 40 years, in between barbecuing oxen and roasting boar for my insatiable appetite, I never miss an episode of Dr. Action and the Kick-Ass Kid commentaries. Ain't that right, Johnny?
Hi, I'm Dr. Action.
Hi, and I'm the Kick-Ass Kid.
When I'm not watching action films, I'm usually polishing my gun while looking at a bat.
And when I'm not watching action films, I'm normally outside with a harpoon killing puppies.
But usually you can find us both watching 80s, 90s action films. You could follow us on Twitter, Dr. Action Kickass.
You can find us on our main page, which is dractionkickass.blogspot.com.
You can also find us on iTunes and TalkShoe.
Yes, every week we do a commentary on an 80s and 90s action classic, and where we can, we also provide the film so that you can watch along with it.
This podcast explodes.
Hey, where's that baby mama at? I gotta tase somebody.
you would think that John Carpenter. There's so many other John Carpenter things I could have played, but this is the, I thought maybe we get some excitement out of this, but no. Come on, John. Come on, give us something good here.
Except this isn't John, though. This is in Ennio Morricone.
Oh, maybe this one. It's awful. I can't stand it. Now, this is John.
Yes,
right?
There we go.
This is what we expect from this man, right? But this is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of, it's so simple, but it creates an entire brand, right?
Yes.
Those couple notes right there, that totally epitomizes an entire franchise.
Pretty much, yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can remake it. You're still going to use this theme song, right? You're not going to
yeah, along with Love Hurts.
People have used that theme song without remaking it. It's kind of everywhere.
I plan to, at some point, if I can get somebody to wear a mask.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Ooh, you need somebody to wear a mask? I like wearing masks. Do you want it to be a pony? Because I've always wanted to wear a pony mask.
See, I told you we could find it. We could make that happen.
Yeah, that
pony
was
mask?
easy. That was way too easy.
It can happen. I want to be a unicorn. I'm going to be a unicorn. You realize this is our halftime, right? We are literally talking over halftime, which never happens, ladies and gentlemen. That's how devoted we are. This is what happens when you produce a show live. Yeah, I could have cut us out. I could have put us in the background, but no. I want to share some John Carpenter music with you because we are talking about a John Carpenter movie. But I can't make you listen to it alone.
I'm glad he didn't score this movie, honestly. Oh, God.
That is my favorite Halloween movie they made. My absolute favorite. Halloween. Yeah, I said it. You guys can hate me.
I don't think he scored that one either.
Really, Halloween 3. I just said it. The one with the masks, no Jason Myers, my favorite. Fuck Jason Myers. Or Jason Myers. Or Michael Myers. Whatever that douchebag's name is.
Don't miss it.
Yeah, I just said it. Dramatic,
He didn't
cinematic.
really come back on Halloween 4 either.
No, he
whatever.
didn't even come in until Halloween 4.
I don't care about him.
Because Halloween 4 was 88.
This
and
is
Big
theme
Trouble
music.
was 86.
This is cinema music. Like all that other shit is forgettable. This is amazing stuff. Like Escape from LA, or I'm sorry, New York. LA is basically the same thing, but maybe a little bit brighter sounds because it was more modern instruments.
Well, not that modern. He's always loved his synthesizers.
Oh,
hasn't he?
absolutely, but they still modernize synthesizers.
I don't even remember the Escape from LA soundtrack.
I don't either, but
you're-
I'm pretty sure it sounded just like this.
Probably pretty close.
And who talks about Ghosts of Mars?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about ghosts.
Or
But
vampires.
you know what? But does this not? John Carpenter kind of became the cinematic audio genius or bastard of the 80s. All
He
of
didn't
this,
write Axel F, did he?
every bit of this screams 80s, does it not?
It does, very much so. Yes, he was very much a product of his musical time, I'd say.
But he didn't write Axel F.
Big Trouble Little China. What is your most favorite Kurt Russell movie?
That's Big Trouble in Little China. That's absolutely Big Trouble in Little China.
Without question, huh? It's not Overboard. Mine's Overboard.
Well, of course yours is Overboard. It's got Goldie Hawn.
I remember Overboard. Oh my god.
Overboard was funny if you take into account the fact that, they kidnap her and take advantage of her.
Well, yeah, that's what makes it so good. It pissed me off when they actually
that's
told her who they were.
That's why it was
That's
on
when you're
Fox
supposed to kill
so
and
many
eat her.
times, huh? Yeah.
That's when you're supposed to kill and eat her.
In their place.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Well, Dave, what's your favorite Kurt Russell
That's
movie?
a good question.
That's why I'm asking it. Come on.
Maybe Tombstone?
Tombstone? Who the
That's a
fuck
good
was he
movie.
in Tombstone? He was some old fucking dude in that shit, wasn't he? What was it?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Yes.
He was an ERP. He had to be an ERP.
Yes, he was the ERP. He was Wyatt fucking ERP. Thank you very much.
Really? That was your... Really?
Yes.
John Carpenter didn't make any music for that movie.
No, he didn't. What?
I know that because I'm looking through my little folder here, and I have nothing for Tombstone.
My second favorite would be Kurt Russell. Would be his Elvis Presley movie he made for TV in '79. That was good.
Ooh, he is definitely... And he was in 3,000 Miles to Graceland, which was a whole bunch of Elvis impersonators. And you know what they say about every man in the world is you're evil, or I'm sorry, you're evil. Oh yeah, I'm sure they say that. Also, you are either a Elvis man or a Beatles man. And which are you, sirs?
I'm a They Might Be Giants man.
You're a Beatles man.
I'm a Rolling Stones man myself. I'll never be your beast of burden.
Oh man, I'm a twisted man. So go figure.
Or
Really,
no, wait,
you guys
my earlier
absolutely
comment
ruined.
and substitute Stargate.
You realize that, right? You ruined that tangent.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was going with Captain Ron.
and
Or
oh
executive decision.
no, you know what, Captain Ron? That is some stellar shit there. Who doesn't like them some Captain Ron? Because you know what, he showed them kids like it's all about perception. They assumed he was blind in that eye, and it was all a trick. It was a trick.
I actually like the movie.
Did I just spoil that movie? I'm sorry, folks. I just spoiled Captain Ron, that he wasn't actually blind in one eye.
That's
Ta-da!
okay. It's one more Martin Short comedy no one has to watch.
I was
it
never
is
a
from
Martin. I'm more of an
1992.
Adam Sandler kind of dude than a Martin Short dude. That's just me though.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
We can-
more of a
you-
Conan O'Brien kind of guy than I am a Jay Leno kind of dude.
Well, I think anybody who actually appreciates comedy is more of a Conan kind of guy than a Jay Leno
Well, I
kinda
mean,
dude.
but no, I mean, you cannot blame Jay. I mean, yeah, I fucking hate the
can blame
dude,
Jay for all sorts of things.
and can't wait till he's off the
Not
air
being
and
funny,
we forget
he's
about
chief
him.
among them.
Oh no, he's not funny at all, and he has funny jokes because I hear the jokes, but it's because he's too fucking old. And David Letterman's not funny anymore either. That's why,
Letterman's
honestly,
just
guys,
becoming a
that's
old
why
man.
that's why we should be doing the Tonight Show, all three of us.
None of them are crotchety enough.
All three of us. And you know what? This has been the most stressful halftime break we've ever had. And you know what, guys? Welcome
none of us
back,
have
ladies and gentlemen. You are currently listening to the Traumatic Cinematic Show. I am still Mugumbo, and with me is still... Shit, did we ever take a break? Mr. Mike Wycliffe, and also from the Western Tip, Northern Style, West
Just the
Coast,
tip.
the that DeMoss guy, Mr. DeMoss.
So, The Thing from Another World is an awesome movie that everyone should go watch, even though it's from 1951. You should all just get over
And
your
therefore
prejudices.
in black and white.
Yeah, you should all just get over your prejudices, because it's actually a very good mirror image of The Thing from 1982, in that The Thing from Another World is all about human characters and their exploration, through a giant, well, not a giant, through an alien invasion in their little base. Whereas The Thing from 1982 is all about placing you in the minds of, the last human being.
And folks,
In the camp, because we don't know any of these people, do we? And
No,
how
not
well
really.
do we
And-
really know anyone?
and like DeMoss is saying, the Thing 1982. We keep hitting on that. Why? I mean, honestly, it was my fault to begin with, because as I was making Facebook and Twitter, when I was making posts and tweets, I said John Carpenter's The Thing, or yeah. And people were like, "Oh, you mean the original or the remake?" I was like, "Really?" I'm so familiar with all these remakes, and I don't want to be familiar. I don't try to be familiar. But they happen, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. They're always bad. They're always horrible. Anyways, so, and they all finally realized the fact that I said Carpenter's the thing, that it was the original. But I did get a couple comments.
No, it wasn't the original.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was John Carpenter's original take of the thing before somebody remade his remake of his original take. Right?
Yes. Okay. Exactly. Remakes.
Bing,
yeah.
bing,
so
bing.
The Thing 2011
But
would be a remake
Mr.
square.
Doug Tilley.
Except it's not really a remake. It's more of a prequel. It just happens to be a very similar story.
But
tomato,
on the Twitter box, the very famous, the very amazing Twitter box.
You got responses. Yes.
On my @GenXNerd account, I had Mr. @Doug_Tilley, who is from the No Budget Nightmares podcast from the Daily Grindhouse website, right? Am I right?
Correct.
Wrong?
Correct.
DailyGrindhouse.com. Yes, and No Budget Nightmares. I'm sure you can just look that up and find it everywhere.
They're on Podomatic.
He responded back after he realized that it was the original John Carpenter's 1982 version of The Thing. It's my favorite horror film. Incredible effects, perfect ensemble, great soundtrack, and fucking terrifying. And I had Michael C. Burtis, who is @Mickey B Novels, said, then I thought it was scary as fuck, but much better than the shitty remake. When his head came back alive and then walked, whoa.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
It's memorable too, and they pulled it off. It didn't look bullshit. That's what made
the
it.
effects in this movie were freaking great.
And then after I made the comment, after I responded to Mr. Doug Tilley about the remake thing, he's like, then tell them to stop trying to remake the classics and always screw them up, which would obviously be because I have that control. And I've been lightly discussing it with the folks with Hollywood, and they're listening, and they're like, okay, Mr. Mugumbo, like we understand. We're gonna do a couple more, okay? We're gonna do Gremlins if you don't mind. And I was like, I'd really rather you didn't do Gremlins. That's really kind of dear to my heart. Like, we really want to do Gremlins. I was like, why don't you fucking do Pretty in Pink? Why don't you do some John Hughes movies? Why don't you fucking remake those movies, huh? And they didn't want to remake any of his movies. They want to do Gremlins. So
because people know that
but we're going to win on the next one. We're going to win on the next one.
The trick to it really is, I think, that even though everyone is terrified of the idea of remaking Gremlins, we're all going to go see it.
Oh, absolutely. And if they do
Just
it
to see
right,
how bad it is.
if they do it right, it will be phenomenal.
But if they do it wrong, they still got my money.
Mike, as a child, I'm seriously, Mike, as a child, I had the 45s. Like my parents, like my mom, I shouldn't say my parents, my mom got me the little picture books and the 45 records, and I could actually listen to the Gremlins record story and read along to the book as I heard the story on the record, and they could flip it over, and then you can flip the book over and see it on the other side. And it was awesome, and I had like 4 or 5 of them, and they were amazing. And I saw it in the theater, and then 15 years later we had it on VHS. But I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, Mike. They're going to remake it.
You could just not go.
I know, but I will probably love it. I want my kid. I want my kids to see it. I hope they make it young enough and awesome enough as that was for me, because they did that whole E.T. thing. The Gremlins, another Spielberg movie, had that whole E.T. Merchandising,
more of a Joe John
power engine behind it. Did it not?
Yeah.
I mean, everything Spielberg did at that time did. So will the new Gremlins? I mean, they try to do it with all of them, but it'll be horrible. It'll be awful. It'll make the original even better. That's what we're gonna say. Yep.
Yes. Well, it certainly has helped for the Thing. But no, Spielberg has all that power because in 1982, the year the Thing came out, he made Poltergeist. which was the big horror movie that everyone went to see that year, The Thing actually didn't do very well in its initial run.
Well, look at what it opened the same day as.
And what would that be, Mike, for those of us who
E.T.? Wasn't it E.T.?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Oh, yeah, shit.
This movie opened the same day as Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Well, that's a rough shit. And E.T. came out at that time, too, didn't it? I mean, like,
sorry?
E.T. also came out at that time, too, I do believe.
It was that same summer.
I would imagine.
Like, there was some big
Poltergeist, Blade Runner, and Star Trek
guys.
2.
Usually I'm the guy who's like, 1982.
Star Trek 2 also?
Yes, it was 1982.
So Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Also known as the best of all of the Star Trek movies.
You mean the one they just made just now?
No, the one they just remade now.
No, Mr. DeMoss.
No, that's not a remake. What are you talking about?
Dun, 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 dun.
Apparently E.T. came out several weeks before The Thing.
Just barely.
Exactly. Well, that's still rough because that's what all the families and kids, and then becomes summertime, and that's what they go to, right?
But families and kids weren't going to go see this movie.
When did E.T. come out?
My parents might have.
What I'm looking at here just says several weeks before.
Yeah, my parents would have gone to see that.
Compared to the Thing. Well, I just, was it in July? Was it summertime when everyone goes to movies?
I don't know. I'm just looking at it.
I don't know either.
It says several weeks before.
Folks, I am sorry, but we try to bring more information and knowledge to the podcast show, but it sometimes happens that we are just human. Back to regularly scheduled programming.
I'm not a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a human.
If you were, how would we really know?
You stick some wire in my tray of blood.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
so I sprouted.
Either one of you, have you
a monster?
Have you responded to what your favorite Carpenter movie is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was Big Trouble in Little China for Mike. What about your favorite it was Big Trouble in Little China, Mike.
Yep.
Dave, what is yours? That's what I'm trying to get to, Mike. Big Trouble in Little China for Mike. What is yours?
Yeah, I'd say honestly it would be this movie, just because McCready is the most human of his protagonists, I find, and E.T. came out 2 weeks before this, and yes, as Mike said,
that hurt it a lot.
Yeah, this came out the same week as Blade Runner and Megaforce.
I think
Megaforce
and Megaforce.
I think on a motorcycle.
Yes, everybody had to go see that, obviously. And the very next week after this came out, we got The Secrets of NIMH, and the week after,
The Secret of NIMH is so great, though.
And the week after that, we got Tron.
Oh my goodness,
Man,
which was just mind blowing. Mind blowing. When did gosh, there should be like a Star Crash or a Metal Storm or something around that time period too, right?
Well, there was Pink Floyd's The Wall on August 6th.
Oh my goodness, what a time period. Like LSD was still really popular at that time too. Must have been an amazing period of things to really never understand or comprehend.
Well, we had Zapped on July 23rd.
Zapped? Oh, no, it was too early still for Teen Wolf.
Is that the Scott Baio where he becomes telekinetic?
It is the Scott Baio where he becomes telekinetic. You see,
That's off the top of my head.
Yeah, we forget, but
that
summer
is some
used
good.
to be...
That is some good freaking stuff. That's some good Gen X stuff. You know what? Do you guys remember the little robot maid girl? One Short Circuit. She was Small Wonder. We've done this before. Wow. That happens every now and then. But Small Wonder, yes, that was an awesome, very short run 80s show that you just don't hear about very often.
Except unless you're one of the people that grew up in the 80s, in which case it seems to come up in conversations a lot as how come nobody ever talks about this thing?
Like, apparently,
because
I was in love with her.
Have that many legs?
I'm still looking for her.
But we forget that the summer used to be the season of comedies, particularly raunchy sex comedies. Especially
you know what?
July.
We have grown up, and we have the big hook-nosed Blossom is now on Big Bang Theory as another, basically worse, frumpier Blossom. But she's awesome.
Sad.
But she's awesome. She is
she's
awesome.
also in real life a neurosurgeon,
which makes her even more awesome because she don't have to do what she does. She just does it because she's awesome.
I don't know if she's actually a neurosurgeon, but she does have a PhD in brain type stuff.
Hey, Mike, do you have a PhD?
No.
Well, then you're not allowed to have a nose as big as hers. So you better stop it from growing. All right.
What?
All right. I'm measuring it. All right. Well, she's got a large nose, but it's cool because she's so smart. Because
and of course,
the smarter you are, the larger your nose is allowed to be. In my book.
And of course, the month before The Thing came out, we got Conan, Mad Max 2, and
which
Rocky
Conan?
3.
Which Conan?
The Barbarian.
Holy shit! And so, and what did you say, Mad Max?
Mad Max
and
2.
And then this, no wonder.
The Road Warrior.
How in the world would you like get a teenager at this point? I mean, like literally, they're going to buy a lid of marijuana for like $5. I mean, that's literally the size of like a lunchbox of marijuana, and they're smoking that like walking around daily, and they're gonna go watch a movie. And yeah, that's hard to that's a hard schedule to compete with. Really is.
Minds being blown, man.
Well, yeah, dude. Like, let's go watch this movie. Like, is there blood in it? I don't know. I always fall asleep in the first 15 minutes. Like, or whatever. Like, yeah.
And that's a common complaint I've heard leveled against this thing, actually.
Well, I mean, at that time, you're still...
I will always contend that the most frightening thing in this movie is the fact that Wilford Brimley has no mustache.
You know, for whatever reason, when he was talking, there was something deep down, I wanted to buy insulin. I mean, I really did. I was like, I need to buy a case of insulin.
Was your diabetes acting up?
Well, I don't have that, but I was worried about it. I don't have diabetes, but I was worried about it. And I was thinking about those I know with diabetes, and I wanted to call them, and I don't know why. I don't.
Didn't he do one for term life insurance, too?
He did, yes.
I'm sure. Was it because he had diabetes?
I don't know.
No,
I was just trying to remember that off the top of my head.
Because they paid him money. But more to the point, when his character smashes up the radio in this movie, is he human?
Does it matter? He's got diabetes. The dude's capable of anything.
This is
if he was driving and he smelled like alcohol and blew over the legal limit, and he was having a diabetic crash, or he was an alien, infected. I don't know.
Simulation that the Atari 2600 could come up with.
I don't know. There was the actual practical effects and the reverse cinematography and all the little itty bitty things. There was actually, I would love to see a DVD or the special edition. I mean, Mike, is there a Criterion collection of the thing available?
No, there is not.
No, there is not. Well, I would see
but it is on Blu-ray.
It is on Blu-ray. I do have the Blu-ray.
It is on Blu-ray, fact, and I went to Best Buy today.
Best Buy has it on sale for like $8 right now.
Who does?
It's got a crappy ass cover, but the movie's
I went to Best Buy today, and they didn't have it. At least my Best Buy didn't.
It's in a freestanding thing.
I looked all over. I asked, and they looked around and couldn't find it.
They've got a freestanding. Here's a whole bunch of movies that we've just marked down to
right.
prices,
I looked through the pit of movies that were foreign. I looked through them all. I couldn't find it because I would have bought it on anything.
I could totally see this going first, though.
There is nothing I enjoy more than actually watching the movie as we podcast about it. I do enjoy such a thing as a slight little commentary on our part, which both of you might be doing such a thing, but I am not. I am just freestyling, obviously.
Yeah, we try our best. But this had one of the best goddamn 80s movie posters I have ever seen.
It really did.
I can remember it staring at me from the wall in the horror
menacing.
section of my video store.
Terrifying. Like you were afraid to even pick it up. Like the Thing.
And I still remember it was The Mist, wasn't it? Where, who's it that was oh shit, I just lost my whole train of thought. When they did The Mist a few years ago, and they had what's his name that played the Punisher as the lead guy? He was
Thomas
an artist.
Jane. Yeah.
Thomas Jane.
Oh
you.
yeah.
Wasn't he painting? Wasn't he basically supposed to be the guy that painted that poster? Wasn't that the big one from the opening scene?
I do not remember enough.
Am I making all of that up off the top of my head?
I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny.
Awesome, sir. Because if that's not true, it should be. I just don't remember The Mist enough to verify that.
Well, I know the movie The Mist. I do remember that movie very well. And what an ending. What a Stephen King story it was. Wow. But I don't remember. It's funny because I didn't realize that was, but you're right. That is Punisher. Him playing, not Punisher, but just the father. I don't remember that.
Now that I've said that out loud, I think I'm wrong. And I think it was actually a Stephen King book he was doing a thing for. So I just said that on the podcast, and I was completely wrong. So, oh well.
Well,
sorry.
That happens. Hey, at least you realize you're wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, shit happens. What? Anything else? Anything else about John Carpenter? What things might you possibly be looking forward to? Since this is kind of wrapped around Days of the Dead, I hate to date our shit, but since we're going to go Days of the Dead, and hopefully we will get to see some of the things that we're excited about seeing that had to tie into this movie. What kind of sort of things are you looking forward to seeing about this movie? I hopefully some of the masks and stuff like that. There's supposed to be stuff like that there, right?
I'm just interested in meeting the guys. I mean, specifically Keith David, because I'm a big fan of his in general.
Yeah, same here.
But the other guys are all awesome also.
For Young Justice.
Yeah, me too. Actually, it took me a second because he looked. Deep down, I could have sworn I was like, he is the guy that was in House, the medical show with
Yeah, we're familiar with what House is.
With House, and I was like, no, it can't be him. He's way too young in that show, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized who he was, and was like, oh my God, he's been in everything. So, yes, it would be awesome. Yeah, he's been around
for a long time.
It'd be awesome to meet him. I actually, even though it's not on our schedule, but I am going to watch Predators 2 again with Gary Busey, and I might possibly personally try to go through some Gary Busey stuff. Deep down, I really feel like Gary Busey's not going to show up to the show. He's not going to be there, but I hope he is. I hope he is.
His son's going to be
Jake.
there too. So.
I hope him and Jake are there. Jake, I want a Blu-ray of Hackers so fucking bad. If I could get him, Angelina Jolie, and the dude that plays Sherlock now with Lucy Liu
Benedict
to sign
Cumberbatch?
my Hackers.
Oh, you mean Johnny Lee Miller?
Yes.
Sorry.
I'd be in heaven. Even though that movie, Hackers, was ridiculous. I love that movie so much. It was very
ridiculous.
Oh, it was absolutely ridiculous. But it was awesome.
That's a rip-off of Superman 3.
But it was so awesomely ridiculous. It was so awesome. And Angelina Jolie's lips are so big and luscious. And
yeah, but Office Space is a rip-off of Superman 3 also, and it's excellent. So.
Did Superman 3, did they take one half of the penny off of every transaction?
That's where they got that, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Really?
Yep, that's Richard Pryor's first plan for
oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to watch that
Brainiac.
stuff again. I'm gonna have to tune in.
I call him the computer wizard.
Folks, since you have made it this long, you have made it this deep into the podcast. One, you get a sneaker or a secret snippet of next week, which will be Phantasm. And also, not just the movie Phantasm, but we are going to kind of wrap it around Angus Scrimm in general, because he will also be a guest at Days of the Dead, this convention that all three of us will be going to. And if, and this is an if No one else has claimed the prize from the first 2 episodes that we put out the prize at the end of the episode. Then the prize still exists. So, say, Mr. DeMoss doesn't like any Hollywood movies. Either tweet us, email us, message us, Facebook, anything. Whoever does it first, it doesn't matter which one of us. Anybody that says Mr. DeMoss doesn't like any Hollywood movies.
Hey, Louis.
Yeah.
Mr. DeMoss doesn't like any Hollywood movies.
This only applies to those that don't work for Traumatic Cinematic or are closely affiliated or related to those that work with Traumatic Cinematic. That's just the way it goes, guys. I just want you guys to know it's been awesome, and I can't wait to get the Days of the Dead here in Indy and hang out for 3 days and record. We're going to record like 900 hours of podcasts in the like 96 hours we're all together. It'll be amazing. Like, we will literally, I will hire people to podcast for us to pretend that just do impressions of us.
I can see I'll be shotgunning some caffeine that weekend.
Yes, you'll have to, Mike. Like, because this is it's not going to stop. I am literally, I'm going to have to go get a couple more of those micro cards. I'm going to have the my little MP3 recorder. I'm never going to turn it off. It's going to be on all the time. We're going to do that, and then it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen. So the only way you'll know how crazy it is to stay tuned. Or something like that, right?
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like that, dude.
So remember, message us through one form of media or another that Mr. DeMoss does not like any Hollywood movies, and you'll get a t-shirt. Otherwise, the contest continues. All right, folks, we are done. Good night. Mr. DeMoss, how can we find you?
At aytiws.com.
aytiws.com. Also at aytiws on Twitter. Mike, you are?
Gray Matter Splat.
Folks, traumaticcinematic.com. I am Mugumbo at Gen X Nerd. That's it. We're done. Good night. I'm on the internet.